All right, let's just be real for a second. A lot of people say self improvement. They talk about going to the gym. They talk about reading a book. They talk about anything. But self improvement is not doing something once, it's more about who you become as a person. Now, a way to do this is by doing these little things along the way, but it needs to become consistent. It needs to build discipline and it needs to make you a better person. Doing it once does not do that. I've been there before. I'm just now starting to get out of that phase. A few months ago, I committed to this and I've seen a lot of changes along with my weight, my work ethic, my discipline, all of it. It has all became better. And I understand feeling lost, lazy, or like unmotivated, but you need to understand that this is your life. And then I've stated this before, it is either hard now and easy later, or it is easy now and hard later. And personally, I would rather be hard now while I'm still young. So whenever I am older or like a young adult, even my life, I will hopefully be financially free and I will be in good shape. I want to be the best man I can be, and that has to start now. I can't just hope for it and be the best man I can be at 50 years old. Like it needs to happen now in the early ages of my life. The big thing that changed this and improved my life is stop chasing motivation and become disciplined. There's a very big difference between discipline and motivation. Motivation is something you get every once in a while, and once it runs out, you usually die. Your work ethic just goes straight down. It's terrible. But whenever you are disciplined, you will work whenever you don't want to, even after the motivation wears off, and that is where real progress is made. Now, I would almost consider motivation to be a scam. Not because it's bad, but because it doesn't last. You'll feel motivated for like a few hours, maybe even minutes, and then it will just go away. Like that is not what we want. You'll tell yourself that you'll do it tomorrow or that you'll lock back in a week from now and it just never that time never comes. All right? That is the difference. The truth is that you don't need motivation. You need standards, which comes with discipline. Standards discipline is whenever you do something that you don't want to do for the improvement of your well being. And this discipline is what separates winners from talkers, or the people that are only going to do it once or twice compared to the people that do it every single day, even whenever they do not feel like it. Whenever you stop asking yourself, do I feel like doing this? And instead tell yourself that you need to do this and that is who you are now, there is a huge difference and you will be able to tell in your life. You might hate it for a little bit, but at the end you will realize just how much it improves your life. Now, there's something that most people do not tell you, and that it is discipline is not built overnight. Discipline is whenever you make yourself these small promises over and over and you keep them every single day. You do not miss a day. Nobody is saying that you have to go from lazy to perfect. The only thing is that you need to show up. You need to be striving for that self-discipline so then you can have that self-improvement. Now here's 3 rules that I would use to help better your discipline. Rule number 1 is keep it simple. Start with one good habit every single day and keep that going for multiple weeks, a month. Then after a little bit of that, once you feel yourself gaining a little bit of discipline, you can add on a few more habits like I have. Another thing that can really help is tracking everything. If you track it and it's on your mind throughout the day, it's a lot harder to skip whenever you know that that's what you need to get done. You will do it. The third and final rule is reward consistency, not intensity. It is not about how hard you work one time. It's about how much you work over time. Another thing that comes with following through is building self-respect. You will realize that you are worth more and you will start holding yourselves and the people that you have around you to higher standards, which ends up just improving everybody. This can help your confidence, your energy throughout the day, and your focus on the tasks ahead of you. The goal is to get disciplined to become your default. what you are used to, what is your everyday life. Most people do not fail because they can't work. They fail because their mind is hardwired to lose. School has almost taught the younger generation, including myself, that you need to go to college to get a 9 to 5. Like, that is not true. That is not where most of the real money is earned. So we need to break from that idea that going to school every day, college, like 9 to 5s, like get rid of that. If you focus on your goals, focus on your tasks, and build discipline, that is where real self-improvement is. That is where you will start to ascend as a person. And some people just write other successful people off as lucky. It is not luck. It is the hard work that they don't see behind the scenes that put them in the position that they are in now. You have to unlearn that weakness mindset that school has taught us, and you need to start understanding that if you put in the work and the time, whatever you want is going to eventually happen. If you do not quit your whole life, you spend your whole life working towards a goal, you cannot fail. You will reach that goal eventually. It is almost impossible to not get where you want to be if you do not stop working. So then it just comes down to how long is that going to take, and you can speed it up by working harder or working longer. But remember, stay disciplined. That is the number one. You can either see a failure as a roadblock or a lesson. Now you get to decide which one you see it as, but failures are probably the best way to learn. Learn from your mistakes and don't make that mistake again. When you realize that you are 100% responsible for everything in your life, good or bad, that is whenever you take control of your life and you stop letting others or other things control what is going on. There are a few little points that I like to go along with this, one of which is nobody is coming to save you. This is up to you and you alone to help push yourself, create that discipline, and reach your goals. Another one is growth requires pain. There are going to be hardships that you have to overcome to get to where you want to be, but those will help you eventually. And the third and last one is that we've talked about it before, discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation runs out, discipline does not. Then, whenever you have your mindset and your discipline locked in, that's whenever you start to build. Build your skills, build your confidence, and build your income. That is whenever you will see real growth, only after you build that discipline. Remember though, you do not have to have everything figured out. The thing is that you need to start. If you start now, you will learn along the way, and that is the best way to learn. You're never gonna know what comes with this self-improvement journey until you begin it. And then you will start to pick up with things along the way and start to understand what you need to get done and what you need to stay away from. Now, me and my business partner, I mentioned in the last video that we had a business model or a business idea, and we ended up coming up with something that we believe will be really helpful for specifically starting a business. We're still working on it. I'll talk about it more later, but just know that there is something big coming that I believe will be huge for you guys. So yeah, I'll talk about more of that in a separate video. But basically, it's like a step-by-step system, along with, which is really big, the one-on-one coaching that we offer to bring you from lost to launched. So then you are never stuck trying to figure out business by yourself. Because success doesn't happen solely in isolation. It happens with guidance, accountability, and real feedback. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to promise yourself that you will do what it takes. Once you start improving yourself, your habits, thoughts, mindset, everyone else around you will slowly begin to realize, along with your friends, and hopefully that will end up pushing them to better themselves also. I've actually seen that in my own life, and it's a great feeling. So start now. Don't scroll to the next video. Don't wait for motivation. Build discipline and watch your life change faster than you ever thought was possible.